touchdown.
Means maybe you guys will shut the hell up for a week.
Throw over the middle. It is complete to DK Metcalf into the end zone for the Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown. The Steelers remain atop the AFC North. Goff guns towards the end zone. Caught, tackled short of the end zone. There is a flag.
There is no score.
You can be upset all you want. Steelers walk away with victory.
The NFL has suspended DK Metcalf for 2 games for conduct detrimental.
This is a big deal. DK would be the answer against man coverage. If he's not there, the question becomes, who is that? Happy holidays and Merry Christmas Eve. Welcome to First Take. I'm Courtney Cronin here with Marcus Spears, Jeff Saturday, Joe Fortenbaugh, and Kendrick Perkins. We'll be here in a bit.
Good. You looking good.
Look at there.
I didn't get the Christmas sweater, Mom.
Corey, you in the
tomorrow? I got my festivities.
Yeah, you in it. You in it.
Let's get it.
The gold buttons hit.
Yes, thank you. All right, let's start with some big news out of the NFL. Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf going to miss the remainder of the regular season after his 2-game suspension was upheld on appeal yesterday. The suspension was a result of Metcalf shoving a fan during Sunday's game in Detroit, and it's going to cost him over $500,000 in salary and void $45 million in future guaranteed money. For the upheld suspension, Mike Tomlin spoke to the media about the incident. Take a listen.
He did explain to me why he did what he did, and I certainly don't condone the behavior, but I support DK.
From a football perspective, what do you lose if DK is not available specifically this week?
One man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. You can waste a lot of time pining for those that you don't have. As a leader, I think it's my job to work and prepare those that I do have.
The Steelers' final 2 games are against Cleveland and the Ravens. Right now, ESPN Analytics gives Pittsburgh a 93% chance to win the AFC North. The Steelers could clinch the division this week with a win against the Browns or with a Baltimore loss. Swagoo, should DK Metcalf's suspension have been upheld?
Absolutely, should be upheld. And listen, this is there can be 2 parts to a story, right? The fan is in the wrong, and obviously you would love to think that they would have some decorum, right, and not say particularly what was said, as we don't know. But for DK Metcalf to go over there and throw a punch at him, he must have said something pretty egregious, and I think it was history between both of these individuals as well. But DK understands. First of all, you can't go to the stands. That's number one. No matter what. Jeff, you and I have been in stadiums. People say the worst things to you when they on the sideline. Listen, y'all, I played in Philly for 8 years, right? Where the sideline is right behind you. There were some things said that made me want to punch somebody in the face, but I didn't go over there, right?
I find that hard to believe as an Eagles fan.
Yes, right. And then, too, you have – it's not only the act. It's not only an NFL game where every camera angle gonna catch you doing everything when your name is DK Metcalf, but it's also about the NFL. And let's not play, y'all. Like the shield. How long have we heard that? Right. Protect the shield. So even from a PR standpoint, from an optic standpoint, and arguably from the standpoint of when DK walks over, if you connect with this guy, and I think it's a prosecution process that's going to go on. He hired a lawyer. So it's just all bad all around. And you get it. It's the heightened emotions of a football game. You talk about how these guys react and respond when this is our place of employment. Nobody else pretty much has to deal with somebody talking to you or critiquing you. But ultimately, DK knows better. And the suspension, honestly, y'all, look, I know it's $500,000 plus, but 2 games to me was like, whew, because I was thinking it was going to be a fine for more money. And Jeff,
I'm surprised.
Because of a punch thrown by you to a fan on the sideline during the NFL football game. I was like, 2? Okay. Because I thought it could have been more.
That's what we were talking about yesterday. We thought it was going to be 1 less, potentially.
I thought it was going to shrink. Like, I was surprised they held it up. Typically, you know, for even the stuff that happens between player to player, post-game, during games, all those kind of things, kind of the precedent was set at 1. And I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, you don't ever walk to that was the most egregious error besides the punch was walking over, right? Like you never get that close. You just let it be. You tell your team security guy, hey, man, like whatever we got to do right here, let's get this fixed, get this clown, whatever it is, and move on. And the whole litigious society, the guy's going to, I mean, whatever. Like it's ridiculous all the way around. The NFL is going to protect itself. I understand that. But I did think they were going to reduce it down to one game. And you know, you're talking about $500,000 was a substantial amount of money already. The voids of his guaranteed money being almost $50 million, which is, good gracious. Like, this whole thing has, and really it could all been avoidable. And so you have to, if you're DK, you have to own it, man. Bad decision, shouldn't have done it. I did think the league, I would have been completely content with a one-game suspension. Obviously, they went against what I thought and stuck it with 2.
Yeah, Joe, it feels like the league's trying to make an example out of DK Metcalf for this. Do you think they should have upheld it the way that they did, though? I mean, 2 games, we know what's on the line here for the playoffs and what this team's trying to do, but that's a significant amount of time.
There's 2 components to this. There's the football component, and then there's the entertainment/TV component. What do they say when it comes to TV? Win the mom, and you win the household.
Right.
To bring in a WWE analogy, there's a reason you see a lot less blood in WWE nowadays. Children watching that. The NFL wants to spread its wings as far as it can to get as many people watching as possible. It's why we don't get the Who for the halftime show anymore. We get people that relate to a younger audience that might not necessarily be watching the game. When something like that happens, it looks horrible. The optics are horrible. Whatever's said from the stands, whatever happens with the player, it looks horrible for everyone involved, so the message needs to be sent. If the fan is out of line, I have no idea what happened there, but if you have the evidence that he is, you ban him forever. Yeah. And if the player goes over and does something like that, justified or not, you have to come down hard to send a message to everybody else. Yeah. Fair or not, the message has to be very clear that if a mom and a family wants to come to a football game, you don't have to live in fear that someone might be throwing a punch and you might be getting caught in the process.
But the reality is when you in entertainment, y'all know what this is about. Like, does the NFL want to suspend DK Metcalf? Right. Hell no. Right. He one of the faces of the league. Right. It's a team that's ascending. Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, all of these things are going on. That's great for the NFL. Yeah. It's PR, though. Yeah. Like, 100%. We in television, we've been working in TV long enough to know that if something go down, you go and you talk to the bosses and they like, hey, man, we don't want you to be off air. Right. The ratings are amazing. Right. You do a phenomenal show. Right. But from the standpoint of how the public is going to view this, we got to make a decision. Yeah. And I don't like living in this fantasy land that the NFL didn't do that because of that. Right. Sure. Like, you could find DK. If I told you, I'm going to throw one punch at a dude, and my place of employment is going to find me $500,000, you'd say that's enough. Right. That's enough. That's enough of a punishment for you to learn your lesson. Everybody in the world. Everybody in the world. But from a public relations standpoint and what the league wants to portray to everybody and keep people engaged, a 2-game suspension. That's why I said, Court and Jeff, I thought it would be more because of that, not because of. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah.
Well, if you see this, if you 2 playing see this happen, the next time someone's yelling at you, you're thinking of this. You're thinking $500K, 2 games, no matter what's said. As
listen,
I ain't going.
None of it's worth it.
Let me just tell you,
that's not going to deter.
You're not deterred at all, really?
No.
Interesting.
It's always like whenever you get into like commissioner discipline, all this kind of stuff, everybody's like, oh, it's sort of. Let me tell you, man, it happens so real. No one is thinking about that. Like in that moment, you're not thinking about DK Metcalf. You're not thinking. You don't sit there and go, I'm not going to walk over there because of DK. I wish we were that clearly focused. At that moment, I will not stand in the lie. I mean, it would not happen. Yeah, you're not.
An interesting thing here, the Lions say that they're not going to discipline the fan. There won't be any further action. The NFL today said that they're still looking in and reviewing his behavior, so we should find out more about that. Obviously, we've not heard from DK yet. Still, 3 days into this, he's suspended
now.
Anyway.
What's he got to say? I wouldn't say nothing.
Let it blow over. Something will happen in the world that'll take our attention.
I'm going to get as little as I dang sure, DK, dang sure don't get on air saying nothing else, bro. Let that thing lie.
Let it ride.
Exactly. You don't got to explain nothing to nobody. You just sit tight. They've already suspended. It's over. Move on.
One thing I think Mike Tomlin said when we heard him there, he's talking about one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. So without DK Metcalf, Swagoo, how big of a loss is this for Aaron Rodgers, and who is that next player to step up?
It's a huge loss because we were sitting here, 3 weeks ago talking about them not making an explosive play in the football game. And then we see DK go downfield a couple times, and it seemed like the kickstarter for this offense to get moving. And I know Gainwell has been playing well. I don't think it's going to be a receiver. I think it's going to be Gainwell. I think it's going to be the running game that we saw from Warren against the Detroit Lions. And look, Aaron is playing at a very high level right now. So ultimately, Aaron Rodgers is going to have to make up for DK Metcalf not being there. You got to get creative offensively. I'm worried about the explosive play element more than anything. But can this team matriculate the ball down the field? And I'm going to say this. I'm going to leave it. The Cleveland Browns ain't easy to play.
Right.
Like, I know everybody
Look at
like
what they did to
playing.
the Bills last
Yeah,
week.
everybody playing Cleveland, and they should be. No, you don't. You're not going to be fine.
Right.
We've seen them push teams in their division when teams have been really good.
Yes.
So I'm interested to see how they make up for it. I don't think it's going to be by a receiver, though.
Yeah, next leading receiver is Kenneth Gainwell, 440 yards, separating him and DK Metcalf.
There is no bigger fan, by the way, of the Green Bay Packers this weekend than DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Packers win on Saturday against the Ravens. He doesn't have to worry about whether or not the Browns spring the upset. And then next week when he's out again at the end of the season, it could be a big problem.
So we've been talking about how the Steelers' offense has looked different the last 3 games, and truly how this team has bounced back over the course of the back end of the season. Do we owe Mike Tomlin an apology, Jeff? I guess just the way that this thing has gone out. I remember people sitting on this show talking about, it's going to be a losing season for Mike Tomlin. They're not going to be in position for the playoffs. 19 consecutive seasons now with a record over 500.
Yeah, I'm with you, 100%. No. Here's when you settle apologies in the playoffs. All this regular season nonsense that we're talking about, he's proven it time and time again. He's going to get you to the playoffs. He's going to get you to the dance. Totally get it. I don't think any Steelers fans is upset that they go 10 and whatever, 9 and whatever it is. They've made the playoffs. You have to win in the playoffs. When Mike Tomlin, and he just said, he's as good as there is on the mic, man. He gets up there and he's like, another man's opportunity. All right, everybody's excited. Standard is the standard. If you are the Pittsburgh Steelers, what is the standard? Winning Super Bowls. And every Steelers fan likens it back to when I was a baby. That's how far they go back to talking about, and they just cherish like Bill Cowher and the Super Bowl they won, and then Tomlin and the Super Bowl. Guess what? We ain't won a playoff game since 16. Yeah. 16. I could go back and play it. I'd have been like Phillip Rivers at 16. You know what I mean? Living my best life in 26. We are a long way removed. So, no, there's no apology that's going to be made until they make a run in the playoffs. And it can't be a one and done, we made it and get boat raced out.
Right. So we know that they got eliminated from the postseason
Jared.
Second straight year.
Jared.
Dallas dropped the last 3 games, including last Sunday against the Chargers, which sank any postseason hopes that remain despite having nothing to play for. Dak is preparing to start tomorrow against the Commanders. This is now the Cowboys' 30th straight season not making it back to the NFC Championship game, which is the longest active drought in the conference. They're also looking to avoid having consecutive losing seasons for the first time since 2000 to 2002. Despite their struggles, Dak and Jerry Jones have faith that things are going to be different next season.
We won't be back here in this spot. I'm going to do my damnedest, controlling what I can. And, as you get older, having more input, having more say-so, and being asked more questions from the front office, maybe there's a little bit more that I can do, and it's not just physically or me getting better at my game, and maybe it's, speaking up and saying that this will help or I think this can help. And so whatever it takes.
1 year, you can change the drought. And then you're the latest to have gone to the playoffs or gone to the Super Bowl. So I don't pay any attention to 30 years this, 20 years that, when I know one good year would change it all and you'd be at the top of the list.
Well, fans hear 30 years this, 20 years that, and that means something to them, Swagoo. I see you rolling your eyes over there. How do you hear Dak and Jerry?
He is. I mean, there ain't nobody better, dog. He just say it. He just says the crazy stuff.
I thought he said he was going to stay out of it. That's what I intimated the other day when he put the blame on himself. And then you say that. How did you hear Dak and Jerry?
Listen, all right, Dak said what he's supposed to say. Right. Dak is a player that has to play at a very high level. And he actually can do something about it.
And by the way, he's
playing at a high level.
Exactly. I was going to say, he ain't the reason they're there.
I'm getting there. Okay? Here's the thing, man. I applauded Jerry for the moves that he made. Go and get Quentin Williams, Logan Wilson. They start playing defense better, right? And you see this team go up and down. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about, they got a shot. They playing well. And football is that way. So, yes, of course, if you make a deep playoff run next year, everybody will forget and talk about where you are right now. Right. But that seems to be Jerry's problem. Exactly. Jerry don't want us to talk about where they are right now. Right now, they ass. Right. Okay? and that is what we're going to focus on right now. Okay? And the moves that you make, the decisions that you make, have led to that.
Absolutely.
In a lot of ways, right? We know
100%.
Dak has been injured. We know you've dealt with some attrition with this football team, losing guys. Everybody does. Everybody. So here's where I get sideways when it comes to Jerry in particular, because he's the GM and he deserves either the credit or he deserves the angst about what's going on. Ben Johnson has been in Chicago 16 months, and they vying for the first seed in the NFC.
Right.
Matt LaFleur has had Green Bay and that organization in the playoffs every year since we've been talking about the Cowboys not winning the playoff game or getting there. We saw the Detroit Lions ascend in this window, right, with Brad Holmes and obviously Dan Campbell doing a phenomenal job there. The Los Angeles Rams said F them picks 5 years ago. Everybody thought they was going to fall off a cliff. They may be in the Super Bowl this year.
Most complete team, right?
Sam Darnold is in Seattle with a brand new head coach, and they have 11 wins on the season. Kyle Shanahan's whole team been on IR.
Everybody. 3 best players on their squad went down.
Backup quarterback in Mac Jones, who we were ready to send to the G League.
Gone.
To play quarterback. Is 11-4 now and vying for the first seed. And he won't talk about 1 year gonna change all of that. Brother, we ain't talking about that. You've had good enough teams. You've had the people. Now, some years you've decided not to go get the people. I remember sitting on this show, not in this particular place, because the Hudson is new and it's beautiful. All the bells and whistles. I get to walk by Good Morning America every morning. I can't wait till I run into Robin Roberts one morning. But ultimately, you think about that is loser talk from Jerry Jones. You understand what the landscape of this league looks like. You understand what teams have passed you.
Absolutely.
That didn't look good at all. It looked abysmal at all of these places before these people showed up. Don't nobody want to hear that, bro.
No.
Like, we want to see the Dallas Cowboys and I'm talking from a fan perspective, the Cowboys get into the playoffs, make a playoff run, potentially get to the NFC Championship, and have an opportunity for a Super Bowl. And 1 year could change that, because we're going to focus on what's happening that 1 year. But don't nobody want to hear that when we know your ass going to be at home watching the playoffs, like me.
And I'm still paying my PSLs or whatever it is for my seats in the thing. Listen. This is the bottom line. You're a fan, you're hot. But let's think about this, y'all. Since 2009, we just talked about 2009, 15 of 16 NFC teams have played in the NFC Championship. That's 2009. That ain't 1995, which is the last time the Cowboys win it. Since 2009, my Atlanta Falcons have played in the NFC Championship game, and the Cowboys ain't smelled it. They ain't come close. This is nonsense. That you would get up here and be like, everything changes.
As much as I'm mad, Jeff,
this is. Can you believe 15 of 6? Every team in the NFC has gone to the NFC Championship game except one team, America's team. And y'all can't do it. Hey, buddy, you might hold that cash back. Don't buy them seats this year. Hold off. Fight the power.
3 types of teams in the NFL, 3 types of organizations. There's serious teams, there's unserious teams, and then there's category 3, for entertainment purposes only. That's the Dallas Cowboys.
Joe.
Very entertaining. Very entertaining. And they'll be entertaining again. And I'm sure the George Pickens saga will last all offseason for us. You don't have to take them seriously for the playoffs.
That was solid. Poetic.
After everything me and Jeff said.
He just did it.
A nice little bow on that.
Didn't he? That's what happens when you trapped me earlier, so I had to come back.
All right, let's leave it here.